Welcome to Trybe Talks, the podcast for parents who are trying to do it all and stay sane in the process. I'm Princess Nyah, your host and founder of Trybe, your personal parenting assistant. Each week we dive into real conversations, parent hacks, and stories that remind you ain't doing this alone. Now let's get into it. Hey everyone, it's your girl Nyah, aka Princess Nyah, aka Kizzy's mum, and we're here with another episode of Trybe Talks. And something that I find so, it's like warming, is that a lot of the guests are people that I know and that I have long-standing history with. And it's so inspiring to have them in the hot seat and bring me up to date with everything that they've been doing. So today, I'm joined by the amazing Shakira. And if we had a studio audience, everyone would go, woo, 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 woo. Hey, welcome Shakira.
Thank you.
Welcome the both of you. Is it?
Thank you. Yeah, there's two of us here.
There's two of you here. Thank you so much for taking the time out to speak to me today, especially with all that we have going on here. So tell the people who you are and a little bit of what you do. Because if you said everything, I don't think we have enough. I don't even have enough camera roll.
We're going to condense it.
We're going to condense it. Give us the highlights.
So I am a creative director. I was a choreographer for Nyah's first video I knew of her for Frontline.
Yes.
Yeah, and we haven't seen each other since then.
Crazy.
But I saw that you're doing amazing things. I would like to say I'm doing amazing things. And
yes, let's talk about you, babes. Just tell us.
Yes, mummy Trybe now. I've moved on a bit. From being a choreographer, I've become now a best-selling author.
Congratulations.
For urban fiction. Wow. I kind of, when I was doing the music videos and stuff, as you know, that was my thing. And then I kind of moved a bit more behind the scenes because I used to do all the storyboarding for you guys, as you would remember, get the music. What's the story? Now I've started writing stories.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes. It is a little bit different. And it was hard to step away from like the choreography completely.
Because it's like a passion,
I think I always loved English literature.
Okay.
I just didn't realise how good I was at it.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? And I had an opportunity to work on the television and do some ghostwriting.
Okay, wow. How did you get into that?
So basically, when I was working with rest his soul, Luke Biggins, he introduced me to a few people that needed writers, and he used to see how organised I was. And he was like, just go and put your ear to it, tell me what it's all about.
Okay.
And I ended up writing a few episodes for ITV.
Wow.
And then working with a few young up-and-coming directors, and then realised, I can do this,
I get it. I've got it in me.
I can do this. And then started working with a lot of investors and different people. And my script that I wrote, I used to have another lady I worked with, and it got a lot of buzz. We wrote a true story about a girl gang, a film. Okay. And it was a period film set in 1977, the Lewisham Girls. And I don't know if you guys have heard of the Cray Brothers. It picked up a lot of traction. It hadn't even made it. And then my dream was to work at the time with Noel Clarke. Oh, wow. And he flew over because he got wind of the script, he'd read it, and he was like, oh my God. And we were like, nah, no way. And then from that, it just escalated. But I found the not knowing of like investment and stuff really, really difficult and hard. And we fell into a few traps, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. The writing was the easy bit, but the business side wasn't coming as natural because I'd always had the business side of my choreography handled. Okay. So it almost fell on our shoulders. And we were just two young women, and we were like, oh my goodness. And
I think that there's definitely a grey area when it comes to the business side across every single creative
It's black.
thing.
It's not even grey. There's nobody teaching this.
There's nobody, and I feel like there is definitely no one teaching it because they don't want it to be taught. So because if you understand from the beginning, we wouldn't walk into so many, I would say just bad deals,
Bad deals, the unknowing. Ignorance is not bliss, especially in film and television. Anyway, moving on, 5 years, I've learned so much. I met so many people, and I felt like I needed to share my journey to teach young creatives, as what you said, so it doesn't become a grey area anymore. And obviously being a woman as well, that was huge. I didn't realise my sex had such a big taboo to do with that whole industry. Like, a lot of my mentors were men. My first mentor was the writer for Die Hard and Mission Impossible. Wow, and he taught me loads. And he was living in Kent, quite local, when you think, you just look like the guy next door. But people had these huge stories and like education to give back, but it was just keeping it until you come across them. And then I a charity found me, the Rob Knox charity, and they're Harry Potter, and their son was murdered not too far from where I grew up. And they heard what I was doing and my writing, and I won an award for new up-and-coming writer.
Oh, wow.
And they invested in me.
Okay.
Yeah, they
That's
invested
amazing.
in me. And then that helped me publish my first book.
Okay.
That went bestseller in 6
So
hours.
hold on a second. So how are you doing all this stuff and being a mum at the same time? Because
the thing.
it's like you've really stormed yourself in here with your belly, and you haven't even said, okay, like,
Right.
do you know what I mean? And don't
Let's
get me
get to
wrong.
the
I
kids.
don't feel like you have to lead with your kids, because I feel like
Yeah.
as women, it's often like, oh, I'm a mum, and it's like, well,
But
yeah.
no, I'll tell you something. I've always been a mum since I've been
But
in
this
the
is what I'm
industry.
saying,
I
so-
was a young mum. I had my first child at 19.
Okay.
So when I was working for you and everybody, I was the mum.
Juggling.
My son was in your video. He's now 24 years old. I don't know if you could look back on that video. He's now, and he's an artist, and I'm wearing his clothes. He's got a clothing line. I need to plug.
Shout.
But do you know what I mean? Like, he's grown into an entrepreneur himself now.
Okay.
And yeah, and I've got 3 children.
Okay.
And this is going to be fantastic for.
Fantastic.
And then the second one is an athlete. He runs for Great Britain.
Wow.
See, he's 20, and I have a daughter. She's 3.5, diva.
You're in the real
ready to
trenches.
be
You're
a prime
back in the
minister.
trenches. You're back in the trenches.
I'm in the trenches.
So talk to me about how, okay, because back then to now, obviously everything is digitally different.
Yes.
You know, there's lots of different things that you have now that you didn't have back in the day. What would be the one major thing that you didn't have then that you have now that helps you when managing your children?
Yeah, with my children, like the first 2, because it was at the time I was doing the choreography and I was touring and I was everywhere, and they were backstage with me and they had to come to studio, and they grew up in that light
In the
and
environment.
met loads of you, and it was the norm for them to know the top rapper, and you know it wasn't like, yeah, my mum knows that. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure you're getting that now with Kizzy, and my mum's like, yeah, my mum's just great. Like, they just think you're like this invincible Marvel hero, but which you are. But for us, we're just going to work. You know what I mean? But then when you see their friends and stuff, and you're like, yeah, it's actually not normal. And I wish we had social media a bit more back then.
Okay.
There's a lot of great things that are not being captured, or journeys and adventures that we went on that we have to voice, and people go, no, you didn't do that.
Yeah.
You don't know that
it's
person.
true, and I feel like it's a blessing and a curse, because at the same time, we actually lived in the moment.
We did.
Yeah, which means that for every moment that is not captured, we actually felt it. Whereas now you go out and everyone's literally like, this is the phone, and they're like this.
I know.
You know? So it's
When they
like
go to concerts, we were dancing and sweating.
and this is what I mean. So it's like, the social media back then might have just diluted our actual personal experience.
I feel like I just would have liked to have captured more moments.
Okay.
Like there was things I did, I think, when I say to my kids, they're like, whatever, mum.
Okay,
And
just so
I'm
you could
like,
show them. Yeah.
You know, you don't know. I remember I met the choreographer for Thriller, for Michael Jackson.
How was that experience
Listen,
like?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
You can only voice it and talk
but
about
to
it.
hear it is
Yeah, I remember being in Soho House and we talking, and me and him doing all the dance moves, and Dr. Freeze was there, like top producers. You can't make it up.
Okay.
And then say like Justin Timberlake coming in going, yeah, man, let's all vibe out.
Yeah.
And you say that to like the millennials, and they're like,
Whatever. Yeah.
Because I'm
They want
actually a
receipts.
teacher now as well. So I work in a secondary school.
Oh,
So I
wow.
teach performing arts.
Okay.
So I give back a lot of all the dance moves. That's how I get the dance part out of it.
Okay.
And then obviously the business side of it's my writing. But I started a new platform called MIA, which
Right.
is Mum's Industry and Acceptance.
Okay.
Because I feel like sometimes the mum bit or the wife bit, like I'm a wife now as well, it gets left out. Thank you. And having that support system, it's not really recognised as much. And I think there is a lot of mums that have maybe had some limelight and then, oh yeah, well, I'll just go away and shrink off into the dark now because I've got children. I've done it myself. It's not because anyone made me, but I just think. And then it was my husband who went,
What are you
you
doing?
need to go back and do, because I saw your billboard. And I said to my husband, I know her. And he was like, what do you mean you know her? I was like, I used to work with her, she's amazing. I remember when she was just full of dreams and she's doing it. And he was like, yeah, but
do
you're
the same
full
thing.
of dreams. And I went, yeah, but you know. And he was like, no, you're full of dreams. You need to contact her. And I was like, yeah, I just want to wish her well. Because I'm happy for people. Do you know what I mean? It's
No, I
hard to
appreciate
do-
that. And I
yeah.
think that what I pride myself in using my platform for is saying that, like, yeah, I'm doing this, but there's so many other women that are out here doing it, like daily, you know, we're all in the same trench, trying to use the same 24 hours to do something, just something better than what we was doing yesterday.
Yeah.
And when you're creative, sometimes it's just that little bit harder because it's not a 9 to 5. You know, there's no right or wrong, there's no blueprint, it changes all of the time. And you just kind of have to lock into that self-belief that you can actually do it, you know?
Yeah.
At the same time as
always
cultivate, like you're cultivating a human.
But then
like,
also there's like, I think sometimes you get like that void in your head is like, I want to do it, but then it can get a bit lonely as well.
Yeah,
like your
100%.
obvious thing is called Trybe, and that it means like, you know, we're always told it takes a village, it takes everyone, and like you said, we're all out here doing little backs of different things, but it's the coming together that I think gets a bit lost.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No,
But,
I agree, and I think that what kind of happens a lot of the time is you have your kids and you're with your family, and then it just becomes family focused, and that is your tribe, and people don't really look far outside of that because there's no time.
Yeah. And then when you do something, they're like, when did you do that?
Yeah.
Do you know? As I was coming, my dad was like, where are you going? I was like, I need to go and do an
You're colouring outside the lines today.
Always did.
Yeah, exactly.
Excuse me. Hi, everyone.
Kizzy, we're recording.
So, hi, podcast people. I just had to tell you, I have a free course for kids like me. It's called Money Jazz. And it's so cool because it teaches us how to save, spend, and even invest. I'm basically a mini millionaire in training right now.
Kizzy?
Parents, you can get it for free. Yep, free. Just click the link in the description. Thank you so much for listening to my very important announcement. Okay, Mum, you can finally have your podcast back now.
Thanks, Kizzy. Right, where were we?
No, but I feel like you voicing that and it's almost like saying, you know, I am here, I'm still here, and knowing that there are other women out there that are exactly like you and striving to carve out time for themselves. You are birthed as a parent way before me. You know, so my advice to you is going to be like, you know, you've been there.
there's always advice to be had.
You've been there and you've done it. And I always, whenever I meet women that have children in the early years, I say, just hang in there till they get to school. The early years school, because the first few years are a bit of a minefield, and I think even if you have 1, 2, 5, however many children you have, every experience is completely different.
And I think that's the thing. With my first 2 boys, it was a blur. We were living within the industry. That was our life. You know, I didn't know anything different. And with my youngest daughter now, she's about to go to school in September, like you're saying, and it's almost like the mist is coming apart. It's time to pick up the pen. So people call me Script Chick. That's my nickname. And I was like, it's time. I feel like I'm coming back. I know this one's coming back. I can come back a little bit.
Come back.
It's like a race, you know. It's just a marathon. It just goes on and on.
It is, and you know that the marathon is never ending. And just be consistent. You know, you don't have to be the fastest. No one's telling you to get through the line first, but it's about, you know, doing better than yourself yesterday and making sure that you carve out time for yourself. So how are you carving out time for yourself?
I have a lot of time to myself, you know, like me and my husband be tag teaming in and out, like it's very shared. I feel like now I'm older, I have a better understanding of self, and all my creative years have moulded me into a woman that I couldn't have imagined. And I do have the patience of a saint, don't know where that came from.
You've built it up along the way.
It's the resilience, and you know, it's like before people would say things and it would hit me like, and now I'm like, I don't even hear. It's like, the arrows just flying off, and my friend's like, whoa, and I'm like, you get to that point. It comes in, and there is a self-gratitude and gratefulness, and when you can have that self-appreciation for yourself as a mother, as a woman, the rest is a bit easy.
Yeah, no, it's true. It does start to feel like a walk in the park because the self-work is the hardest
coming in my belly, what's up? That's not a problem.
It's not a problem. So talk to me about, like, you spoke a lot about your husband being a really good support, and he sounds like he really champions you into believing in yourself and, you know, just doing other stuff and not worrying about anyone else and saying, but you know how amazing you are. Like, it's great you think other people are amazing, but you have that. That sounds like such a really incredible person to have by your side. How do you guys manage your little one at the moment? So you said your baby's nearly 3, going to be 4, so going to be going to school, and then you have another one on the way. What's your go-to, like, what do you do in terms of managing your diaries and your day? Like, how do you manage the kids? Is it all on you?
One of those mums that are like scheduled yellow coloured dots. We're not like that.
Okay.
Like this morning, I know I've got to be out and about. I've got appointments. So he's called Shaq as well.
Okay.
So
Oh my God,
Shaq and
Shaq.
Shaq. Yeah, that's how we met. My husband's from Turkey, and someone called out Shaq, and we both turned around. And
Really?
the rest has been history.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
So with that, I'll be like, can you do the nursery run? Because
Okay.
I'm going to be really tired doing both. He's like, yeah, and he studies and he's an engineer as well.
Okay.
So we're very independent with what we do, very different,
Yeah.
but very similar in coming together. We share the cooking.
Oh, wow,
Like sometimes
okay.
he loves all the chef in it. And my daughter sees that. I think it's good for her to see that us champion each other,
The
and it's
support.
not all on one person.
Yeah.
Because I remarried, and my boys, I was a single mum,
yeah.
and I've got a lot of respect for single mums because I was there, and
done it.
it didn't stop me doing nothing. If anything, it pushed me through. And now my boys are big, and they're coming and they're like, Mum, did it, and give me their stories. I feel really appreciative of that.
Okay.
And there's no shame in that.
Yeah,
you
no,
know,
of
a mum
course.
is a mum at all angles. That is the role.
Yeah.
But when you actually find somebody that actually stands beside you and sees you, oh my God, there's no stopping you and what you need to do as well.
No, that sounds like, honestly, it sounds amazing. And it sounds like you guys are very free-spirited in
Yes.
the way things are going.
Yeah.
You know, like just very vocal, and just if you
Yeah.
need something, you just say it,
Yeah.
you know?
And we draw to our family, you know, like, oh, I know it's hard, everyone's got their independent lives, but like what you champion as a tribe, as a village, you need more. It's just not just us.
Yeah.
You know, you
It goes further.
if you don't understand something, sometimes I might read a book, I might read something, I need help with that. And then my daughter's personality is completely different to the boys. And I feel like I'm like, this is
What's
no
happening here?
judgment.
Yeah.
It's just great, don't get me wrong, but it's still, I'm learning. So even though I've had children before, I'm like, okay, this is different.
It's still a first time. Yeah, because
This is
every
hella
soul is different. So
different.
they're giving you a completely different version, which is great because I suppose it challenges you to grow and for you to become your
it's challenging.
your better person. Okay, so on the way to podcast today, I was with Kizzy, and she knows I'm doing a podcast, and because she has to be involved in everything, she has a question that she wants me to ask. So I'm probably
old is
going to pop
Kizzy?
her. I'm probably going to pop her video in here. Kizzy's 8, going on 18, or maybe 28,
Okay.
and her question is, what is your superpower as a parent? So what would you describe as your superpower?
Kizzy, my superpower is I have these really great listening ears.
Wow.
I can hear things without having to talk. And it just goes into my soul, and then I go into my belly, and then a lovely response comes
Oh,
out.
amazing! So you've got good listening skills.
Yeah,
I
you're
wish I
super
had.
hearing
I
for
wish I had.
children.
I wish I had that superpower. I'm
You
sure Kizzy
need
would tell you
it.
I don't have good listening skills.
You gotta listen. You gotta listen.
I'm like, huh?
to
What did you say? I'm just doing something over here.
It will come. It will come.
It will come. No, but listen, Shakira, it's been absolutely lovely catching up with you. Tell everyone where they can find you, where they can find your book.
You can get my books on Amazon. You can find me at Shakira Nerissa on Instagram, and I'll be there. And I'm just present. You can Google me or find me.
Yeah, I love that. And listen,
Yeah.
congratulations,
Thank
and I wish you
you.
all the luck for the baby coming. And let's definitely
you.
catch up again next year because I'd love to follow what you're doing and make sure I can support you in any way that I can.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Wow, you're still here listening. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for listening to Trybe Talks. And if you enjoyed today's episode, then please share it with another parent who needs their tribe. Make sure you check us out on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, all that good stuff. And make sure you get involved and be a part of the conversation. Until next time, and remember, parenting takes a village. And now you've got one.